Hey everyone, Experian here. I hope you're doing well. And today I just want to jump right into it. I just woke up, so voice is a little bit sounding differently today, or at least in this video. But yeah, I just wanted to jump right into it because I was thinking about something this morning when I woke up. I saw something that was really intrigued me. I wanted to talk about is that we have a lot of the world is so strange, like the world is just very strange. We prop up people that aren't meant to be propped up or aren't supposed to be propped up just because, just to feed into their delusions or into the whole character that they build. It's so bizarre. I saw something where it's like there are these people out here that, you know, what's the name of that guy? Like that, that guy everybody made fun of for like a good solid week, with the whole banana peel and Saratoga water. That guy is his name Ashton Hall or something like that. It's like we prop up these people who live an absolute caricature of a life. Like he doesn't do that every day. Like you know that simple. Like like he gets up every day at 4 a.m. to have his run at 4 or exercise at 4 a.m. Dips his face in Saratoga water. It's like you telling me you do that every day. Like for us who are older, right? We can look at that and tell this is honestly a form of entertainment because it's very sarcastic. Like obviously he doesn't do that every day. Obviously he's just doing that for content. Because nobody in their right mind would be doing that every single day. I would actually be very concerned for a person's mental health if they did that every single day because that's not normal, man. That is not normal. Life is like having a routine is good, but having a rigid life is miserable. Like, can you imagine doing that every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, the same exact thing every single day? Get up super early in the morning. Like, for this guy to get a full night's rest of sleep, he would have to go to bed at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. You telling me, is this guy really telling me he goes to bed at 6, 7? Something in me is telling me I just don't buy that. I don't buy that. You telling me you going to bed that early, right? Yeah, you getting up super early, like 4, 5 in the morning, doing all of this stuff every single day, every single week, month, year. You would lose your mind. You would be so miserable, right? Because it's not about the routine, right? The routine in of itself is not actually what's important. What's important is the substance of what you're doing in any given day, right? That's what matters, right? You can have a routine every day of jacking off every morning. You could have a routine like that. Every morning you jack off and you go about your day. That's a routine, but it's certainly not a healthy one or a good one because there's no substance to it, right? So it's like they have they push out this sort of content, very superficial content that's like pretty much satirical, and again, for us who are older and have more experience, we can tell, hey, like obviously this guy is just doing this for content, but these people make a lot of money off of what they do, and I find that so strange because why is it are these people getting successful or success out of pushing such fake content? To me that just doesn't add up. And it goes to show how things are so twisted in this society where people are propped up for stuff that is harmful because for us, as I said, we know it's a joke, but for the younger audiences, the younger impressionable people, they look at that and they take that in. They look at that and they're like, um oh, so this is what I need to do to improve my life, to be better. I gotta have this rigid routine and get up early in the morning and dip my head in ice cold water. I know I'm really picking on him in particular, but to be honest, that was like the biggest. That's the biggest example I could use and the most relatable example I can use because I'm sure almost every single one of you know exactly who I'm talking about. Right? But yeah, it's like these young people take that in. They take it serious. They don't really tell that it's like he's just doing it for content. They think it's legit. They're like, oh wow. They look at them at the person at face value. Oh, he's super buff, and he seems to be very successful. Uh, and this is what he does. So maybe if I do it, I'll be successful too. And they fall into that trap, right? And then that's how people get roped into buying these people's online courses and all that nonsense. Um, and it's like that's just not good. Like, why are we propping people like them up for then now our younger generation to watch them and try and actually now feel inspired by these people and try to copy them, only for them to realize, oh my god, what I've made such a big mistake trying to copy these people because now my life is like 10 times more miserable. It's so odd. And that's just one example. There's so many examples of this where we prop up people like that, right? Like I just gave that one example, but this applies to both genders, not just men, and women as well. Where so a lot of these women promote the same sort of superficial uh, content, and for the younger ones it's like they just buy into that, like the same thing. Oh, I get up every morning, I do my early morning meditations, and then I make my special coffee, my chai latte, whatever, and then I go to the gym. And it's like people see that and they're like, oh, again, the same thing. Oh, okay, maybe if I copy this person, um my life will be better. Now, in some aspect, yes, because what these people do is like they mix they mix a few good things with a lot of superficial things, but it's the few good things that catch you. So again, it's the going to the gym part, the meditations part. They pull you in with that, but it's a whole bunch of nothing, right? Not to mention, it's not healthy to have a rigid routine. It's actually not. We as human beings are meant to live new experiences every day, experience something new, something different every day. If you live every day the same exact way, you and I both know how miserable we would all be. We would all be. If you spent every day eating the same exact food every day, you would be miserable, right? If you spent every day seeing the same exact thing, no change. If you woke up every day in a white room, you would go insane. You would literally go insane. All of us would. It's just not healthy. It's a very they're promoting a lifestyle that not only is unhealthy, but it will quite literally make you crazy. Like, I'm not even kidding. If you lived like that, you would give yourself depression. You would give it to yourself, right? But again, it's like it feeds into these into people who are gullible, or the younger generation. It feeds into that, and they try to buy into it, and it's so sad that a lot of these now big companies, and even us, we are part of the problem. We prop these people up. These people have thousands, millions of followers, and it's just like, what are we doing? Why are we feeding into this grand delusion? Why are we feeding into this person's delusion, into this person's content that we know is messed up? We know it's not healthy, but we do it anyways. Why? You know? It's like It's like giving an addicted person a drug that the same drug that they're addicted to. Why would you do that? That's just so messed up. You know they're addicted, but it's like, oh yeah, I'll still keep giving them the drug that they're addicted to. Why? Or like it's like telling a schizophrenic person, they're in your walls, they're in your walls. Why would you say that? Why? That's so messed up. That is so messed up. Why would what would possibly compel you to do that? Now that person probably has to get sedated because you just made them tweak the hell out. Just because you said that. Why? Why do we do this? It's like, because it's not like we're dumb. We're not. We are very self-aware, you know. We're like, again, like I know a lot of us like to make fun of ourselves, like, oh, you know, some people are so stupid, blah blah blah. And I mean, I get, there is some merit to that statement. There are some people who are generally just not that smart, but the majority of us, you would be surprised, the majority of us are very, very intelligent, extremely intelligent. So we know what's going on. We are self-aware, but we just feed into it anyways, you know? It just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't. And then there's the people who actually promote the healthy content, and people don't bat these people an eye at all. They don't consider these people. They don't think these people are worth listening to. They disregard these people, disrespect them, you know. It's so sad to see. I've seen this throughout my life. I actually have an example. There's somebody I watch on YouTube. She is an amazing soul, beautiful soul. And she makes some of the most helpful, introspective, deep, and rich content, right, that I've seen in like in life, like some best peak content. And she barely has any subscribers, and it's just like, it's so weird to me, because it's like, if people actually listen to what she was saying or what she is saying, guarantee the world would be such a better place. Oh my god, people would actually get the help that they're looking for. But people like that, they just go completely unnoticed, you know. And she's been making videos for like a long time, for years. If you want to know who I'm talking about, I think she goes by the name I Am So Happy on her YouTube channel. I really hope you find it. She makes amazing content. It's very similar to what I'm doing right now. You know, she sits in front of the camera and she talks about different things, and what she speaks about, again, it's such a joy to listen to her, you know, because you can tell. Sorry about that. That is, what is that doing here? Huh. The water truck is here. Now that's rare. That doesn't happen very often. Not to mention, why now? I'm making a video, man. I hope you guys can still hear me. I'm not gonna cut this out. I'm gonna just continue, because I like to just do this in one sitting and then go about my day. But yeah, like, amazing person, right? Amazing person. I really hope you guys can go check her channel out. You know, because her content is so helpful. It's so inspiring, and it helps you. It really makes you think, you know. But yet, you know, it's like it just doesn't reflect out into reality, at least not yet. I do believe that sometime soon that people will, I think that people are already starting to get tired of the fakeness of everything. I definitely do see that, like, you know, people are getting more tired of just keeping up with the BS, you know what I mean? The whole thing with the government, and the whole thing with life, society, like, people are really starting to get tired of just keeping up with the nonsense that they know they just don't have the energy for. which is really good to see. And people are now starting to be more pulled to authenticity, to genuineness. I am seeing that. It isn't fully here yet, but I am seeing the movement. It's starting to grow. It's really starting to grow. So I do believe that soon the people that should be propped up will be propped up, you know. Um, and the people that do have something actually beneficial and wise to say will be listened to. Um, but as of right now, there is still that very much poor mindset of, again, like these sort of people who promote a lot of junk food. That's what I would call it. Junk food mindset, junk food lifestyle, junk food, just junk. Superficial, fake, doesn't mean anything. It's just for appearances. And it's so satirical to the point where you know it's for appearances, but again, it's like junk food. You watch it anyways. People follow these people anyways. You know, I'm sure a lot of the people who follow these individuals know, most of them know it's fake, but it tickles something in their brain for some reason. For what? I really don't know. I don't know what, but it seems to tickle something in their brain that makes them want to follow these people. So it's just something I saw this morning that I really wanted to talk about because it really uh, watching my videos would make you feel like I haven't lived here for like at least like 2 decades and some, because a lot of the stuff up to now baffles me. Well, to be honest, this world has always baffled me ever since I was born. I don't understand it. I don't. Such a strange world. Strange. You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if some of you watch anime. It reminds me of the latest episodes of Shangri-La Frontier. Great anime, by the way. Great anime. If you're into anime and you haven't seen Shangri-La Frontier, I highly recommend it. That's what it reminds me of. The latest episodes of Shangri-La Frontier. I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you understand the whole inversion thing. Yeah, those of you who've watched it know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what this world is. Everything is inverted, twisted onto itself. You know, right is wrong and wrong is right. It's weird. And again, it's like it's the weird self-awareness that always throws me off guard, because people know, people are, most people at least, not all, some people generally believe in the delusions, but most people are self-aware enough to realize, yeah, what is generally good for them, what is generally not good for them. People feed into that, into the nonsense anyways, and it's just like, why? What? For what end? For what purpose? It's just so weird, man. Ah, strange. Strange. But hey, as I said, I have hope that eventually things will start to change for the better, you know. I am seeing that happening, and I know that eventually it'll start to ramp up and then swell and then increase, which is what I am very much hoping for, because I mean, not to toot my own horn, but I'm a person that I feel like genuinely, if people were to approach me respectfully, of course, um, and ask for my advice, I could really help them out. You know, like I actually have things that I know would be beneficial for other people to hear. And again, it's not out, I'm not saying it out of the, how should I put this? I'm not coming from a holier than thou perspective. I'm coming from a, I have lived through very intense experiences, I'll put it that way. I have lived through many intense experiences in my life. And because of that, it has given me the foresight on a lot of things, in which if I advise people on certain things, it can actually benefit their life if they are willing to take it in, right? So it's not coming from like, oh, I am better than everybody else or whatever. No, I'm not. Trust me. I'm learning and failing and making mistakes just as much as everybody else, you know. The only difference, between, I'd say, me and somebody watching this video, right, is that I am making this video, right, because I want to help people, right, because I want to, well, actually, you know what? It's not really about helping people, you know, it's more about just expressing myself. And I want to express myself, and it just so happens that my expressions can help people. Let's put it that way. Because my job here, honestly, is not to be some sort of healer. Like, I'm not here to spend my entire life helping people. You know what I mean? Like, I help people just by existing, but that's not my purpose. I'm not here to just be like, yeah, I'm here to give you advice and tell you what you gotta do. No, that's not my purpose, right? I can help you, sure, I can. It's not like I'm incapable of it or I don't want to. Um, but that's not my purpose. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to be a healer. I'm here to be me, myself, and live my life to the fullest. So if me being myself helps you in some way, cool, great. But I don't want anybody to end up latching on to me or having this sort of idea that I'm some sort of guru or healer. Like, no, please don't. You will get cut off so fast. I've actually had to cut off certain previous friends because of that, you know, who got so addicted, attached to my energy because of just my presence alone. You know, it was like they were starting to siphon off of me, and I had to cut them off. I had to set up boundaries, and these people would have like meltdowns. I tell you, meltdowns, blow up my phone, you know, all these things on the inside would just come out, you know. It's not okay, man. It's not okay. So to wrap up what I'm saying, the point was, what I'm trying to make is that there are people who will feel compelled to express themselves in certain ways, and those expressions will help everybody grow. This right here, this video right here, is an example of that. The fine woman that I just talked about, I am so happy, by the way, go check her YouTube out, is another example of that, where it's people simply expressing themselves, their authentic, genuine selves, how they feel about certain things, their opinions, um, and that just listening to them helps, right? Because it is always one of the most wisest things you could possibly do is listen to another individual. That is a whole nother consciousness speaking, right? You could gain new perspectives, learn new things, be able to tackle things at new angles just by listening to what other people have to say, right? So don't discredit that. Just take the time to listen, right? Take the time to listen, to do your research, to grow, and in that is what really helps you grow, you know. But at the end of the day, it's not on that person. That person isn't actually helping you. You're helping yourself. You are coming to your conclusions and you are improving because you listen. You decided to engage with another consciousness. That other consciousness is not helping you. You are the one who is making the change. You are the one who is doing the action, right? Not them. You know, So yeah, just wanted to talk about how fascinating. I was gonna say crazy, but nah. It's just fascinating. This world is, and how we have these sort of things. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Peace.